was on that disc?
The murder. What else? You know, for a minute there, I didn't think you'd go through with it. When he got up and started dancing around the room. Classic.
Welcome to Second Class Cinema, the show where we watch a B movie and immediately discuss. I'm Tom. I'm here with Brittany, Eric, and Aaron.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Aaron. Hey,
Welcome back.
Aaron is back in town once again.
Aaron's back in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have to say it every single time
Oh, okay.
because that's who we are.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Aaron's back in town.
Thank you.
Aaron's back in town.
Aaron's back in town.
Is that what you're hoping for? Are you happy?
Yes.
You sick of me?
I'm good.
It's in his contract. We do that every time. So, yeah, tonight we watched the movie Brainscan from 1994 starring Edward Furlong. And it was Eric that selected this one. Eric,
Yes.
tell us why you picked it.
I primarily picked this. I saw it on a list. We have like an internal list at Second Class Cinema of movies that we pick out of. We pick out of this movie list when we don't know what we want to choose.
Yeah, yeah.
And Brainscan was in it. The title caught my attention.
Yeah.
And when I went to do research on it, there was a YouTube channel called Edward Furlong 4, number 4, ever, that had this uploaded in 10-minute chunks. And that alone delighted me so much that I felt we had to watch this.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a good reason to watch anything.
Hasn't YouTube done away with the
10-minute time
10-minute
limit?
chunk? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I think it was like a 7-year-old upload.
Yeah, I was going to say, this goes all the way back to like early YouTube days. So the quality was probably like, what, 240? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. The bad old days.
Like actual YouTube quality.
Yeah, but
Goes without saying that's not how we viewed it tonight.
No.
exactly. Thank you. That we rented this on demand. Xfinity
Full
on demand.
HD, proper aspect ratio, good Criterion edition. Thank you, Eric.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Spent
worth
$4 on this.
Thanks,
Yep.
Xfinity.
for 48 hours.
Eric was unaware that you have to buy it using a credit card. He was throwing pennies at the screen for a very long time.
I mean, it takes a lot of pennies to cover $4.
No, I know it does. Yeah.
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 I mean, luckily I carry around a water jug full of them.
I believe it.
All right, so let's go ahead and go over what this movie was about, Eric.
All right. Brainscan, 1994. Edward Furlong plays Michael Brower, who is kind of a gamer shut-in. Like an early 90s stereotype of like a nerd. He's really into horror.
Yeah, you're right. That was only a 90s thing.
Yeah, imagine that. But he's got like the hair, that 90s hair. That makes it a 90s thing.
Oh, yeah.
Sure doesn't just make it a Terminator 2 thing.
He didn't get his hair cut in the 3 intervening years.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Or in the 20 intervening years between us recording this and him doing this. He's kind of like a gamer horror movie nerd. He's kind of viewed as an outcast at school, and he's bored in his apartment. He lives with his dad, but his dad does not appear in this movie, which is really bizarre. But let's just say he's like a 90s latchkey kid, and he's hanging out in his cool tech room where he's got all sorts of computers and video games and shit. It was also that was pretty cool.
I loved his
I was
tech.
like, is Tom going to be jealous of his gadget?
One of the first things I wrote down.
Yep. And he gets a call from his best friend Kyle, who tells him about this new video game called Brainscan. And Michael Brower is very bored of video games these days. He's played everything. He's played the Dooms. He's played the Night Traps. He needs something new and fresh.
Yeah, okay.
And Brainscan is hoping to offer a new, more intense interactive experience where you can experience first-person murder. You have to take the role of a serial killer and cover up your tracks after committing a successful murder, and you have to do it all within a time limit. But then, as it turns out, the experience is real.
What? Whoa.
Or is it?
Or is it?
Or is it? What?
And he's visited by a sort of cyber tech Freddy Krueger type character named
Bobo Howie Mandel for the Little Monsters.
Yeah, I think that's more accurate.
Yeah.
I actually said this movie was kind of a mix between Videodrome and Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
I had a couple of movies written down that I thought this movie reminded me of.
Like what? What did you have?
Videodrome. I wrote Scanners, but I meant Videodrome. I was trying to take notes quickly.
Easy mistake.
Idle Hands, Stay Alive.
Totally Idle Hands.
And Little Monsters, obviously.
But
It reminded me of Ordinary People and Any Given Sunday.
Wait, is that your real life? What this reminded you of?
I'm sorry, what were we talking about? I
Amistad.
passed out again.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, this is Brainscan. This is the Brainscan episode.
Oh, right, that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Any Given Sunday.
All right, Eric.
Yep.
But he's visited by this character named the Trickster, who after he plays through the first disc, makes him realize that this game is more than a game and cajoles him into playing subsequent discs of Brainscan in order to cover up his tracks and
right.
eliminate any witnesses.
Fair. Solid work.
I agree.
Question.
What's your question?
I have a question.
Tom's got a question.
We did just talk about Edward Furlong's hair. My question is, how many times do you think that he pushed it out of his eyes in this movie?
172,000.
I have the over on that.
Ooh.
What about you guys?
I don't know, but
A lot?
I love it.
Do you love it?
Yeah.
He was like my 8-year-old heartthrob.
No, this
From
is
T2.
this is post-pubescent Eddie Furlong, and you know what?
I still don't buy that he was 16 in this movie, though. I was like, you're a hard 13.
I think everyone was a hard 13.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, you clowns, cut the crap.
All right, that was really bad. So let's just go into successes.
One of my primary successes is the soundtrack.
Yes.
Sweet
Most
music.
of it. I would say 20% of this movie is Are You Afraid of the Dark tier, like ambient horror.
Yes, I wrote that it was Goosebumps-esque.
Yeah, very uninspiring. But then the rest of it, whoever was on duty for setting up the soundtrack for this had a pretty good grasp of 90s alt. There was some White
Yes.
Zombie, some Primus, a couple of other really cool sounding tracks.
Yes, Primus was not expecting that.
Yeah,
Primus is pulled out at a pivotal scene for absolutely no reason.
Just when it got good.
That was
Yep.
really weird.
The Trickster just rocking out.
Yeah, that was the only really weird part of this movie.
Oh, yeah, the only weird part.
Only
yeah.
one. Yeah.
That's it.
But yeah, it felt like this is one of the few times where they tried to capture a sort of alternate subculture, and they got part of it kind of accurate.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that kid would be listening to.
For sure. For sure. The original score and the soundtrack. Excellent work. Excellent work. Anything else?
The overall production value seemed reasonable, minus some of the special effects.
Yeah, but some of them, some of the special effects
mean-
were great.
Yeah, I don't know if they were just 1994 special effects,
Oh, yeah. Some,
or if they were bad for the time.
Points for creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give him points for creativity.
yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
ask any questions.
Yeah.
You know?
I think there were points where they used them appropriately, and there were points where they were definitely trying to reach a tier above what they were able to accomplish.
Yeah.
Like one of the really cool ones, and I probably should say for favorite parts. There was when the Trickster first introduces himself, he kind of comes out of the TV Videogrome style, and then like it's just his head, and then all of his internal organs kind of sprout from his like neck hole to like form his entire body, and then his little suit like forms over that. that kind of worked, even though it looked 1994 CG. He's a video game character; it makes sense for him to look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looked cool, and it was a cool concept.
Yeah, that, and it was like the first time the movie really showed us what it could do, and that was the introduction to the graphics, so it totally worked.
Yeah.
Totally.
I don't have a lot written down about this movie.
Yeah.
It was in focus.
Oh yes.
I would say 99% of this movie was in focus.
I would say.
Which you'd think it wouldn't be a big deal.
The color was accurate
Yeah.
to the
In
screen.
that it was color.
Yeah. It didn't jump aspect ratio.
No.
No.
Not once. How was
No.
the audio?
Acceptable.
All right.
Absolutely,
Fine.
absolutely acceptable.
All right. I like it. Anything? I mean, I didn't really. I don't know. I could not really identify what like any failures in this movie.
I had a couple.
I got a couple.
But I feel like I didn't find any failures because I feel like in order to fail, you must try.
Biggest failure was that they never set up rules. They never set up rules. They just kind of made the rules up in this world as they went along. So we never knew the rules of the game before he started playing the game. She's like, "Oh, play the game. You got to kill somebody." Like, okay. Oh, well, you didn't cover up your tracks. Okay. So now I have to go back in, and he never. And the idea of covering up his tracks was just going back, kicking some sand around. It just felt. It never felt like a game. It never felt like. It just felt like he was falling asleep and dreaming about another another alternate reality.
Yeah.
At some point, it just I understand that it was supposed to mimic reality. I get that. That's fine, but it never felt like a game. It never felt like there's any rules. There's if he got caught, which he did constantly, there was no repercussion to any of it. So it was just sort of a lawless land, and we would just occasionally come up with you didn't do that thing I never told you about not to do. Don't do that.
Yeah, he was playing a Sierra game.
I thought it was very like non-committal, and I feel like that has a lot to do with it. Like it was rated R, but like really for no reason. I mean,
No
his
reason.
friend called him like dick breath or something a bunch of times. We saw like half a boob, maybe.
We saw a couple of them, a couple of whole breasts, and then we also heard him say "cunt."
But
It cut.
That
He
was
said cut.
Oh wait, he didn't say cunt.
You talk about
think
the
he
trickster,
did.
right?
Yeah.
Because he
No,
had
he
the
said
video
cut.
camera. He said cut.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, you were serious
maybe
when you
the
thought I
NPA
said
heard the
cut.
same
I
thing.
was, and you guys agreed with me.
Yeah,
and I
because
was
we
like,
thought you understood.
But no, there wasn't really any
Nope.
like super gore in this movie or super violence. That one guy at the beginning got stabbed, and that's really all we get. And then every other like chapter, if you will, or level of the game is just set up, and then he does it, and then we don't see him doing any of it. We just see the aftermath. And I felt like that was kind of cheap, and it kind of was a ripoff.
Without the rules, there was no tension. So
Yeah.
he was just doing things, and there was just no tension. He's like, yeah, Edward Furlong's going to stab the dude. This is real life, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like what I meant about it not being committal. It was
Yeah.
just like, all right, we're not going to set up any rules. We're going to tell you everything and show you nothing.
It really feels like the film was either longer, the script was longer, and something got cut severely. Because we see the whole thing with his mom at the beginning, and that never comes up ever again.
Yeah, it was
his dad's
really
never around.
weird.
Yeah, which never comes up
We
ever
didn't need
again.
to know that.
Yeah. His friend Kyle has this thing hanging around his neck, which we don't even find out until, spoiler alert, Kyle gets killed in the game.
What?
Yeah, and only at the end of the film where he goes, "Yeah, man, this thing that I always have, like,
My lucky charm.
my lucky charm."
I hate Kyle.
So,
I was real
What?
glad he got killed.
Oh man, disagree.
Really?
Oh yeah, man,
Ugh.
I loved Kyle.
I hated him.
Oh, Kyle was the best.
I hated him, but he was the character this movie needed.
Kyle was the kid that you sit next to on the bus on the way into middle school every day, who would just bullshit you just the entire time.
He was my uncle works a Nintendo guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on my bus, that kid's name was Erik. Erik would talk about how Monty Python, the guy Monty Python, was making a new movie, and I totally believed him every time. And how GoldenEye was coming out for the PC, totally believed him on that too. I can't tell if Erik was that much of a bullshitter, or I was just such a dumb fucking kid. You know,
Probably a
Make
combo.
column B.
yeah.
Well, yeah, those are very hopeful endeavors. That
Yeah,
you know,
nothing. Bad news. GoldenEye never came out for the PC.
it just came out for the Xbox.
Yeah, yeah. Well, joke's on him. I have an emulator now, so fuck you, Erik.
Anything else?
This movie was kind of uneventful.
Yeah, I felt like all of the thrills and all of this stuff was really shallow.
Yeah.
It's like face value stuff.
Well, like you said, it didn't set up any rules, so therefore it's really hard to care about things. I feel like if you don't know what the stakes are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you know what? We never found out what happens if you run out of time in this game.
No.
You'll
There's no
Maybe.
rules. You have time, but no.
but why? Yeah.
Yeah, like, and that's the primary threat that they hold over Michael's head is like, if you run out of time, you lose. We don't ever actually find out why that's a problem.
Well,
or what happens.
maybe. So at the end of the game, when his friend Kyle's telling him there's that kid in Austin or whatever that has the aneurysm, maybe you have an aneurysm.
That
Who the hell
I guess,
knows?
yeah.
Because the game or the movie never implies, never tells you.
Right.
Maybe
And
at the
it's-
end you actually win. So the real point of the game was to not play.
Yeah, and it's so surface level that I'm not left feeling like I want to, like I'm asking myself questions.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that was bullshit.
Yeah, I don't really want to
It's
investigate
not like
this further.
Video Dorm where I'm like, I'm going to watch that again and try to follow it a little more
Yeah.
closely and figure out what was going on.
Yeah,
No, it was not hard to understand. There was nothing to it.
this is just a bunch of goddamn French Canadians.
I feel like this
making
is
a movie I don't
movie
care about.
that I would have seen as a kid and thought it was really fucking awesome until I watched it when I was like 23, and then I would have been like, this is not as good as I remember.
Yeah, this definitely would have scared me at a certain point. I mean, it was mean, it's rated R still.
Yeah.
There's still some violent imagery.
Yeah, mom
Seemingly no
didn't want
reason.
you to watch that.
No. But you
she
did
would have
anyway.
allowed it.
Yeah, but you did anyway.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Oh, I hated the trickster and his freaky deaky rice teeth. There was so little. He had like 6 million rice teeth just crammed into his mouth.
The trickster was the only character like that in this film as well. I mean, it
Yeah.
was sort of like the Drop Dead Fred character, but at least Drop Dead Fred was that. Well, even in Drop Dead Fred, we see other imaginary friends. Yeah, the trickster is just sort of like someone came up with a cool concept for a character, and they blew most of their budget on that.
Yeah.
Just
I hated him and his like Milli Vanilli hair.
Wait, which one, Millie or Vanilli?
They have
Both.
the same hair.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it really wasn't Milli Vanilli. It was like a weird mullet faux hawk.
It was glam rock. It was like
Yeah.
everybody's
Hair,
glam rock.
yeah.
Yeah, he looked like a weird human
Electric Dream
lizard.
Machine.
Yeah. Ugh. Yuck.
Just no reason for him to really look like that or be like that.
He was a glam rock lizard.
If they
Yeah.
if the game had brought our hero into an exaggerated world, exaggerated version of his own world, that would make more sense. But it just was the same thing again. So yeah.
That's actually one of my other failures with this movie is that I was what I was really hoping for was some goofy, nonsensical, like Hollywood doesn't understand video games, but they're still trying to make things about it kind of thing. And it didn't really even give us that. Like, it's very disappointing in that respect because that's fun and campy and stupid to watch.
They didn't
Yeah.
understand video games to the point where they don't even know what they are.
Yeah, it's really true.
Yeah.
I expected some like low level body horror, but instead it was
Yeah.
just like Edward Furlong falling asleep and then running from Frank Langella for like a half hour at a time.
Frank Langella putting in absolute bare minimum effort. I've never seen. If there was an Academy
was-
Award for just like
Or a paycheck.
absolute bare minimum. Even paycheck. I mean, at least I don't know. Okay, so paycheck would be Masters of the Universe. That would be paycheck. But
This
even
is
then,
like health insurance.
Master of the Universe, he puts in like some effort. I mean, he's got to contort his face to
It was
the
in
skull.
his contract that he did not need to emit one emotion
Yeah.
in this entire film.
He did it.
No.
He did it.
Blank
Well, or he
slate.
didn't. Yeah, whatever.
Their partner's been shot in cold blood. Don't emote. All right, good. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, I mean,
that whole detective subplot did nothing.
yeah, I feel like if they had just picked all the tension to go towards the trickster character, if everything was reliant on that, then maybe there would have been more stake in the video game, which would have made me care more about him
Yeah.
doing things right.
You never know at like what point in the investigation they are, or you never have an inkling if they're like onto him. It's just trickster like, oh, you left something behind.
And then the cops driving by, hanging out the window. Hey, what you doing over there?
Go home.
You kill somebody? No? All right. You kill somebody? No? All right.
Your classmates said you were a real weirdo.
Oh man! And then all the incompetent like police/volunteers. I hated them so much. They were all just like walking around the woods shooting at each other. Like everyone was getting hurt every 2 seconds. I was like, why is this a thing?
That sounds more fun than what was actually happening.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're ready to address this, but basically the whole end of this movie was just, I think, just disastrous. Eric is really upset. He said if this happened, it would piss him off, and then I think it did happen. So Eric, explain.
We're pretty sure it happened in that. Okay, so throughout the movie, every single time Michael plays the game, he'll wake up at a later date not remembering playing the game. And he has to kind of piece together what had happened during the time that he was out. And at the very end of the movie, he comes to in his little gaming chair after he's been shot by the police. And we're led to believe that it was all just a dream and he hasn't played the game. And that, to me, is the biggest sin in the world. And it's so bad that, like, any movie that just goes with the it's all just a dream thing is just universally reviled for good reason because it just means that they wasted our time.
Well, I think that he did play the game, but that the game was all a dream.
Well, no, I think what the game is real. We know that. The game gave an aneurysm to a kid in Texas, so he did play this game, but everything that we believed was actual true plot point was just
never
manufactured
happened.
in his brain.
Yeah.
Well, as far as we know. But
Yeah, as far as
This
they
is-
allowed me to understand.
Yeah.
But then he sees the trickster at the end in the principal's office. He
Yeah,
goes
but-
into the principal's office to give the game to the principal so he could show it to his horror club because the principal said that he had to approve anything he showed at the horror club. Okay, fine. And then we see the trickster, and they do the buddy wink at the end. So is he still in the game? It's like the end of the first two Nightmare on Elm Streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the end of it, they think they got rid of Freddy, and then they're actually back in the dream world.
Yeah.
That was an acknowledgement that it's never ending. This is just like, hey, buddy, how you doing? Really cool that we killed some people. Maybe not. Who knows?
Well, I mean, we have proof positive that he didn't kill any of them because they're all still alive.
But but
Like-
the trickster's there. So is the trickster real? Is he in real life? Is he not? Are we
Just a
still in the game?
hallucination. Yeah.
Is this part of the fourth disc? I mean, is there any discs? I mean, whatever.
Well, and then okay, so this is over. Buddy, are you afraid of the dark? A goodbye ending. It was great. Thanks for the fish. Roll credits, right?
Right.
And then they stop credits. They go, wait. What does he say? Like, that's not all, or something. What happened?
I forget.
Yeah, it
It
doesn't
was
matter.
He
like,
said
you
something-
forgot about this or
Oh,
something.
don't
Oh, yeah,
forget
that's
about
right.
this. Screen shatters to reveal this dog that we've seen a few times carrying the severed foot of his first victim to his front door. And then the dog just puts it down, and that's it.
Back to credits.
Back to credits. And that's not proof that actually happened to me.
I feel
because
like-
it did not interact with the reality that they set.
No.
I feel like whoever edited this movie did a terrible job.
Yeah.
Whoever approved of the edit did a terrible job.
Yeah.
I think any competent editor would be like, no, man, that doesn't make any sense. Shut up and do it. You're getting paid. All right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Paycheck effort.
I'm going to do a Frank Longoria job on this.
I hated the principal too. He was a creep.
Yeah. Well,
He was like, "Why do you like watching scary movies? It's like watching porn and getting a boner and running out and raping somebody."
yeah,
I
exactly
think you're
right.
projecting a little bit there, Principal.
It's like they understood porn
We were like,
less
what
than
the
they understood
fuck?
video games.
Came out of left field.
I have a question. So
Guys, shut up. Tom has a question.
I have a question. So shut up.
Eric, shut up.
He played Brainscan, and it sucked. Right? It sucked for him.
Is that your question?
It was terrible. A kid almost died.
Sure.
He then brings that to his principal to watch, to play, to do something with, so that he can show it to the class. Is his goal to then hurt his principal or
I think
the class?
So.
Yeah.
I think the principal.
Principal.
Because obviously the principal's going to watch it and then not let them watch it in class.
Well,
He's going to get freaked out or have an aneurysm, and then he's going to have a good laugh about that.
but what's that going to accomplish? I don't get it.
I don't know, because he hates his principal. He's
Yeah.
a dick.
I mean, the
he
principal's
caught
like-
him and almost got him killed in the game.
Yeah.
In the game, in the game. I don't know. It was
Look,
just a weird like.
We didn't make
then-
this movie.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing he was also very back on his heels for canceling the horror club and accusing him of being some sort of deviant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, what if you go out and you do these things? And then he goes ahead and provides his principal with something that's going to murder him.
True. He did
Very
tell him
exactly.
he was going to get a boner and go out and rape
You're
somebody
right.
with it.
Yeah.
That would be a better end to that movie. Here's the game. I'm going to get a boner. No.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just it. All fell apart as soon as they put that fourth disc in. The whole movie fell apart.
No, as soon as you put the second disc in, because at least the first disc, you're like, all right, he's murdering somebody, POV
Yeah.
shot, whatever. Second disc, it's just like, well, fuck it.
Second disc, they're like, oh,
really
this.
what bothered me.
Okay, so you
Is
guys
the
were
change of
pissed
POV.
Yeah,
by the second disc.
because even if they started establishing rules after the first disc, after the first murder, it's like, okay, the murder happened, that's fine. There must be rules to go along with this. No,
Yeah, no,
No.
it's very loosey goosey.
yeah, didn't matter. No one's mattered.
Very inconsequential.
Yeah.
For the first time since the Death Stalker 4, I have no favorite parts.
Really?
Yeah.
You have no favorite parts. I mean, this movie seemed.
Edward Furlong is my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you thought he did well?
Yeah, despite what he's grown into, I will always have a special place in my heart for a young Edward Furlong.
Also, it's creepy that this movie is rated R. It's about 16-year-olds, and then we see who it would be: a 16-year-old girl, possibly 17, maybe 18-year-old girl,
She was 35.
topless.
Easily 35.
Well, I mean, in the movie,
She looked so much older than him. I was like, this is a rape.
Yeah, I don't know. I always get confused when that is. We have an R-rated movie that has like main characters like this or something like that. I don't know. It's a who's watching?
It's like Lost. It's the
It's a veritable
the
who's who.
Lost Boys. syndrome.
That's what his hair reminded me of.
Lost
There you
Boys
go.
hair reminded me of Lost Boys.
There you go.
There it is.
Quite the coif.
Because Lost Boys isn't not really a movie for adults. It's like a overzealous kids movie.
Yeah.
Overzealous Goonies.
Yeah, yeah.
There's some pretty brutal violence in it.
Well, there is, but I mean, it's still. I mean, you still have like campy jokes and shit
Yeah,
like
it's
that
like a
happening.
teen romp.
Like my parents wouldn't watch that, but my parents wouldn't watch anything. So yeah, that's not a good example. Tom's parents wouldn't watch that.
No.
Tom wouldn't watch it.
Tom would though.
Maybe.
And from
Anyway.
what I understand, your mother will watch a number of things.
Hey, you leave my mother out of this.
She's a goddamn saint.
All right, so Brittany doesn't have any favorite parts. Does anyone?
I mean, that one thing with the Trickster's organs coming out was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, some of the terrible special effects near the very end of the movie, where the special effects director must have discovered Kai's power goo. we went to Babbage's and bought a copy of it for $50 and started swirling shit, and so we could morph Edward Furlong into the Trickster.
Oh my
And
god.
they were like gooing together.
Oh my god. They were like warping. That was wacky as
Yeah.
fuck.
That was
Lawnmower
some-
Man
You know what
style.
the worst part is? It probably took like 3 days to render all that.
Oh, that took forever.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody took 3 days to make Fucking poor soul.
Including the render.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite parts were like big things, nothing small. Like, I feel like this movie did not thrive in detail.
No.
Like, this was like
Didn't
big
give-
picture. This is all that matters, Ed Wood
It was
style.
a fucking bird's eye view.
It's
Yeah.
like they shot the whole thing in order because there seemed to be less and less enthusiasm as the film went along.
That could have really happened. I would not be surprised.
Yeah. The
So-
only person really putting the effort in was Edward Furlong.
yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he didn't know any better. He's so young. He's just like, I'm going to try really
I'm so
hard.
excited about this Terminator 2.
And I think everyone else was just like, well, this is where my career is gone.
Bummer. But no, I liked Kyle. I thought Kyle was funny.
hated
He
him.
was everything 90s, just fucking wrapped in a ball.
And then at the very end of the movie, he meets the most 90s girl.
Yeah, which is the love interest. Edward Furlong's like crush has a friend named Stacy, and she's 90s wrapped in a ball.
Basically Denise Fleming from Can't Hardly Wait.
She really is. Really is. But yeah, it's just big stuff like that, and more character based. It was Kyle. I think I liked the Trickster. I don't know. Those were the elements that I did get into.
If I can have one baby favorite part, it would be at the end after he figures out it's a dream and he goes to what's her name?
The girl.
Kimberly.
Oh yeah,
Kimberly.
Thank you. Saved by the Bell.
You're welcome.
He goes to Kimberly's house and he finds her upstairs just in the bathroom watching some guy puke in her sink. She's just standing there with her arms crossed, like so bored.
Like, not even annoyed, just
No.
bored.
It's like, ugh.
That's just standing
Sink, too.
here.
Have you ever tried cleaning vomit out of a sink?
A number of times.
Eric
Oh, yeah.
knows.
Like every time I've thrown up.
Exactly. Eric gets it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
What about you, Aaron? Anything for favorite?
I mean, like I said, like 99% of it was in focus. So I mean, that's
Your favorite parts?
All you can really ask for.
I feel like that's an accomplishment.
I guess.
It wasn't hard to look at.
Cinematography was competent.
Yeah, I was able to see what was happening on the screen, and I appreciate it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. They did get that done. So all the more power to them. So is it time to rate this thing then?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
So let's rate it then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Yeah,
fuck
I'm going to
you.
have to give it an unfortunate fuck off.
Oh my God, my fucking father.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
All right, guys, let's not rate Brainscan from 1994. Just kidding. We're going to rate it.
Oh, good.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah. So change pace.
Pulled a fast one.
Eric, what do you give it?
Fucking,
Fucking
That's right around what I was gonna give it.
Yeah, I there's just not much to comment on this movie. Like, I was really hoping for it to be worse than it was. Like, I was hoping for some super cheesy CGI, which we did get a little bit of, but not quite enough. I was hoping for some, like, gross misunderstandings of how video games work,
Yeah.
which is always hilarious in early 90s stuff. They didn't really go for that approach. And it seemed like they were kind of going more for a slasher route, but they didn't go far enough with that either. Like, they had this Trickster character who was kind of like a classic slasher style character. He didn't really do anything. Like,
He wasn't even the trickster. He was just more like the agitator. 'Cause
Yeah.
He never killed anybody. All he did
He
was
just
like, hey,
ate
do
all
it.
his food and messed up
Yeah.
his like
Oh,
apartment.
Do
he
it.
ate like bananas, pickles,
Do
and
it.
mustard.
Oh, barf.
It's fucking weird.
And like, they didn't give that character, like, no character really got like a comeuppance. Like, it felt like there was no arc here.
Yeah.
Like,
Uneventful.
yeah, and it just, I don't know. There was no act structure. It didn't even feel like. It was just a series of things that happened, and then it was over.
It was 4 discs.
Good point.
4 discs of fun.
I'm gonna give it a fucking meh.
Fucking meh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm a huge proponent of Edward Furlong's early work, but maybe not his early work, maybe just him in his formative years. But yeah, this movie just fell flat. They didn't take anything far enough for the R rating that they had.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot cooler.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it managed to get an R.
I bet if you go in and go,
writing
our movie
was
needs an R.
terrible. The story was like put together horribly. It was boring. They blew their load on effects that really didn't matter.
Yeah.
They could have had a lot of cool body horror, like Videodrome type stuff, and did not go for it.
No.
In a way, the whole thing felt like an early '90s like FMV video game with the gameplay taken out of it. Like if we sat down and we watched Night Trap, for example.
We've done that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a fuck off because I thought for a few minutes I was like, I'm into this. And then for a few minutes I was like, okay, no, I don't think I like this very much. And then something small would happen. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should just open up a little bit. So it's like it kept me like wanting to like it, but it didn't quite get me to like it. So I'm going to give it a fuck off.
It had all the pieces
It did.
to make you say, I probably will like this.
Yeah. And I was even like kind of like when it first started and first got going, I was even thinking to myself, I was like, man, I can't believe like I let this, like I never even considered this movie as existing until now. And now I get why no one's talking about it and it's nowhere. I get it.
Like it's not even available on Netflix. We had to pay for this.
Exactly.
You know, this
Yeah.
should be something you get for free on Netflix.
Yeah, you have to throw money at your screen in order to get this to show up.
400 monies.
Yeah,
Right
I'll
on
forget
screen.
money.
I'll forget
$4.
about this movie.
Yeah, this will be an episode that I'll be like, oh yeah,
Oh yeah, we watched Brainscan.
that fucking thing. I forgot about that. Aaron, what about you? What are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it a get focused because that's what it did. It got focused.
That's not.
That doesn't
That's-
quite fit into
try
the
again.
scale.
All right,
Does not
so
parse.
we've been watching we've
Whoa.
been listening to second class cinema.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, whoa!
I'm
Whoa! He's stretching the boundaries of reality.
Hey, buddy, you're in the wrong game.
put in the third disc.
Hey, this looks like a kid's game.
Just toss an F-bomb in there and you're good to go.
Okay, yeah, so what are you rating it for?
I'm just going to give it a get focused because.
Aaron, I can't take this rating. Like, I cannot accept
We're
it.
gonna be here all night if
F.
you don't give us a rating.
Get flippin' focused.
You don't want to swear anymore?
No.
Why?
This isn't Kids Month, all right? This movie was rated gosh damn R.
All right. Well, I mean, so you're giving it a get fucking focused
Yeah, because
Okay.
that's what it did. It got fucking focused.
on what?
99% of the time,
On
it
it.
was got
The
it was
subjects
fucking focused.
within the frame of the camera.
They did a good job of keeping everybody in focus. And
So you're really more pleased with the first AC on this movie than anybody else.
hey, she did a good job.
They certainly did.
Yeah, well, they earned their paycheck.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully everyone did on this movie.
Well, they were given one. I don't know if they earned it necessarily.
Oh, we forgot to mention the telescope. Sorry, Tyler.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't really. It was a camera that was used as a telescope.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I take it back one.
More. It was in the
Fuck you, Tyler.
the Monster Squad.
Whoa!
Relax.
Why is Tyler getting taken down here?
Jesus, Mary. Okay.
I can't.
Final thoughts. Final thoughts, guys.
Yeah.
If you die in Brainscan, you die in real life.
If I'm gonna leave here, and 3 hours later, I'm gonna forget what we watched.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is one of the first. Not one of the first, but you typically when you're on, Aaron, we are not as sober as we are right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
Fortunately, some of us have to, go operate heavy machinery. So
Yep,
Yeah.
I know. You have lots of forklifts to
Yeah.
attend to.
Eric and I are gonna go race our bulldozers right after this.
All right.
Rev up your bulldozer, Eric. Here we
There
go.
you go. I filled up with diesel.
All right, perfect.
All right. Final thoughts.
You've been listening to Second Class
Nope.
Cinema.
That's your final thought.
I'm Eric.
You're Eric now.
You're Brittany.
I'm Brittany.
This is crazy, you guys.
All right. That's it. We're done. It's over.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I really
I'm
appreciate
certainly
it.
done.
Oh,
All right. Thanks, Aaron, for coming on, watching Brainscan with us.
Yeah, no problem.
Get home before the blizzard.
Yeah, we got a blizzard.
I will.
coming
I'm
to
going to
town.
drive safely. I need to race a forklift and see Grandma.
Oh my God. Okay. Thank you, Aaron.
hey, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yay! This has been Second Class Cinema. We watched Brainscan from 1994, and we
Loved it.
I
It was a
don't know.
tour de force. 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
4 gold stars. 4 out of 5.
Eric gives me 4 bulldozers. Let's go.
All right, we're giving this movie a bulldoze, and if you'd like more information, Find us on Facebook, facebook.com/secondclasscinema. You can listen to us wherever you're listening to us right now. We're also on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, secondclasscinema.com, and followingfilms.com. That's all I have to say.